This is a combination of questions from multiple people asking roughly the same question around a supplement called Perfect Amino. And I guess now that I said it out loud, Instagram will serve me the ads, but I don't think I've seen this. But and the questions are mainly around saying or around Perfect Amino saying that most protein powders like whey are over 80% converted to sugar in the body, building more fat than muscle. And then another part of their advertising is that it contains the equivalent of 30 grams of protein, but with only a few calories, which is less than the 120 calories you would expect from 30 grams of protein from whey. So the questions are basically like, what's happening here? Yeah. What's the deal?
What's the deal?
Is this really so perfect?
Yeah. You are going to be slammed with this ad now. Believe me. I cannot get away from the ads, partially because people have sent me the ads before. And then now I go visit the website. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Go to the website. You're screwed.
Go to the website. Yeah, I'm going to start with the latter question first, which is basically like, hey, this has like 30 grams of protein in it, but the calories are really low.
Yeah.
So nutrition labels do not require calories to be shown when the product is individual amino acids instead of whole proteins. So supplements like BCAAs and Perfect Aminos, they can look like they have fewer calories than they do. Now, why we allow this, I don't really know. There are calories in these products to the same value that you would have if you just had a whey protein. So it's a little bit of deception on the label. I think some of the reason why it's allowed is because typically people aren't overeating BCAA. Like typically it's a scoop of like 3-5 grams of BCAAs. It's like, you're going to tell me that 24 calories, is really the difference in this person's day. So I think there is a little bit of question of relevance there. But yeah, so basically that's just a little bit of label trickery. But there are calories to that in that same thing as 4 calories per gram. Now, the other points mainly around like whey is converted to sugar in the body, building more fat than muscle. They also have tons of stuff on their website. They have all these claims about digestibility and less metabolic waste. And, it's interesting when you go to the website, and again, be ready for the ads after that. They have this very kind of scientific looking graph that's comparing its product to whey and beef. I can't find a gosh darn cited article on the website. So we've got these results and we've got these claims. I cannot find the evidence for those claims on the website. Now, admittedly, I probably spent 15 minutes, but still I sort of thought like under the graph would be a great place to put it. I did track down a study. I think that one of their main claims on a totally unrelated website, like somebody who I think interviewed the person, like went and found the article, which is really odd to have to do that. But anyway, it's about kind of the main graph that I want to speak to. And it's basically this idea of their protein is a very high quality compared to whey or beef. And it comes down to this idea of how protein can be measured called net protein utilization. Now, they've actually or organizations have sort of moved away from using this as the measurement system for looking at protein quality. But basically, it looks at the intake that you just took in terms of this protein product, and then how much of the nitrogen is lost in your urine. And to say, okay, of the percentage of protein that went in your mouth, did it end up as proteins in your body, in which case you would not have lost it in urine. And so the assumption that the products like this want you to believe is that this means that all the protein that went in went directly to your muscles, to your biceps, right? You increased your muscle mass, right? When in reality, we don't really know what the body is doing with the amino acids. Like we want them to go to our muscle mass, but again, we don't have like a directive that enables us to say, no, send this, to my glutes or something like that, right? Or send this to my thighs or something like that. So if we wanted to know if this product was truly helping people gain muscle mass in a more effective way than whey protein, or just helping them gain muscle mass generally, we're actually going to have to measure muscle mass. We don't get to measure net protein utilization, right? Shocker. I know. We actually have to look at muscle mass, and it's going to happen over kind of a longer period of time. And I think, then once you realize, okay, there's lots of bodybuilders who have put on muscle mass who are not using Perfect Amino, like how did they get that done, right? Like it turns out that we don't need this kind of perfect product. And so that claim, though, specifically that it's being converted to sugar, building more fat than muscle, I don't even know how to counter that really. Protein will, in fact, be burned off for energy like sugar, especially when taken in excess, but converted to fat, like, no. if you eat a very, very high amount of protein, it's theoretically possible, but is it practically occurring? No. And so this is where it's like, it drives me crazy. It's like they have these wild claims and they don't have the evidence to back it up at all. And so it's like, I don't even know where they're coming up with some of these claims. You know, it's like people will send me this stuff. It's like, what about this? And that's like, I don't even know how they came up with that. So long-winded way to say this is a lot of hype. And if people are seeing results from the product, it's either A, placebo, or B, they actually have just increased their overall protein intake.